All right, here with Jeff Mayweather at the Mayweather Boxing Club. Jeff, tough week last week with Celestino. Unfortunately, it came up a little bit short. Tell us about the fight and what happened.
Well, basically, to be honest, I don't know exactly what happened. We had a great camp, and it just didn't, everything just didn't come together on the night of the fight. It happened because it happened to me before in my own career, so I know that it can happen. You can do your checklist and everything is, on point, and that's what I did, and I thought that we was gonna have a great performance. I mean, he had a great camp, working great in here with much bigger guys, much stronger guys, but on fight night, his legs wasn't there, and the one thing with Celestino, he's a leg-based fighter, meaning that he has to have his legs in order to perform on a higher level. Without his legs, he's an ordinary fighter, and basically he was just a fighter that was actually fighting with, more with just heart than his skill.
Do you think, looking back, that maybe fighting in Panama was not the best way to go?
Well, I hate to say that, but I don't really know, because I haven't did any fights with him in Panama. That was my first time doing a fight with him in Panama. But that's kind of like the word that's out there, that he never looks good when he comes home to fight. And I was even approached by a guy that worked at the hotel, and the first thing came out of his mouth that it's not good. He shouldn't be here. And I was like, I didn't know what he was really, alerting to, but he said he never does good when he fights here at home. He said, I hope that he wins, but he said, I don't know. He said, because every time he fights here, it's always bad. He has a bad performance.
Right. So now you have an aging fighter here, multiple-time world champion. Of course, the questions are out there from a trainer aspect. I mean, is it time for him to retire? Has he said either way, or what do you think he should do?
Well, I think that, he's done well with his money, so he can actually walk away from the sport and be fine. But also, it's one of those things that, not just, he's an Asian fighter. He's an Asian fighter that actually was off for almost a year and a half. And actually a guy that drops, 20 to 25 pounds, to make weight. So, all those things can be a contributing factor. But I would love to see him fight at least one more time, and from there we'll judge what direction we're going to go. I would like to see him probably move up in weight, because, it's tough. When you get older, it's a lot tougher to drop 25 pounds, even more so when you've been off for a year and a half. So I would like to see, him, take at least one more fight, maybe at a higher weight, and, and see if it's over.
Now, you had mentioned earlier inside that maybe 130 was a place for him. However, he did fight the one fight with Litzau there and didn't have his best performance there as well. So what do you think would be different at this point?
Well, I think that I discredit the Litzau fight, because I know exactly what happened. He just came out here, and it seemed like everybody in Panama wanted a piece of him. So they took him all around Vegas, and he was doing all kind of things that he shouldn't have been doing. And so it actually showed. And of course, even myself, I underestimated Litzau, and so we all were accountable for what happened in that fight, because he himself, he looked at Litzau and thought it was just going to be a walk in the park. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, and obviously we didn't prepare properly.
This last question, he, like I said, he's an older guy, but he's a former world champion, been a great boxer, had a great career. Do you think at this point that he has one run left in him?
Well, I just think that I'm not 100% sure, but that's why I'm saying we need to, give it at least one more shot and see. Because to me, like I said, for me to see him do so well in the gym, and as hard as he worked, and the level of competition that he was sparring with, and the guys were much bigger than him, and he was more than holding his own. So, with that being said, I think that there's something still left.
All right, Jeff, thanks a lot.